Hey everybody, coming to you from our messy, disheveled room here at Ronald McDonald House, just popping over here for a little bit to give you a more extensive update since yesterday was such a whirlwind, crazy sort of day. Yesterday we got the call from Strong saying we can come in at any time for Bethany's induction, so we jumped right into action mode. We, right around the corner from the hospital is where we are right now, and so we were able to get into the hospital about 2:30, and Bethany got settled into her room, and around 4 o'clock, after speaking with some of the attending doctors and the nurses, they began giving Bethany Pitocin, right? This is to move the labor process along, to induce labor. So throughout the night, they gradually bumped up the amount of Pitocin they're giving her every half hour to 1 hour. And she started to get more serious contractions around 9 o'clock last night. And as the contractions started to get more and more frequent and more intense, they checked to see how far along she was, and as they determined that it was getting close, they wheeled her into the operating room, and while I put on the bunny suit and the shower cap that dads have to wear, I looked like an idiot. But hey, oh well. So at 11:08 though, Joshua decided to make his appearance to the world. Right now I'm convinced though that if there was no planned induction, he probably would have stayed in there for another month. He would have. He's just very, very content little kid. But after he came out, I cut the cord, and they promptly brought him into a separate room where he proceeded to pee and poop all over the doctors. Not gonna lie, very proud dad moment for me. Right now, as of today, give you an update. Both Mama and baby, they are doing wonderfully. Besides being tired and sore, Bethany is holding up really well. She is a trooper. She's not one to be in front of a camera, so I'll update you for her. She is amazing. She's my superhero. I could not do what she did yesterday. And I've watched her now deliver 3 kids naturally, without drugs. And this labor, based on what I've observed and what she's told me, is the most painful and the most intense she's experienced. But she did it. And super proud of her, super proud of our little guy. Today we had the chance to spend some quality time with Joshua in the NICU. It's where he is right now. He, still has hypoplastic left heart. The left side is still very underdeveloped, but everything else is great. He's been getting some breast milk through a syringe occasionally, so we're able to introduce him to that. He's been getting the vast majority of his nutrition, however, through an IV. Right now, we're just waiting for a date for surgery. We know that's going to happen sometime next week. Just not sure exactly when. Overall, we're very encouraged. We're encouraged by everything the doctors want to see in him prior to surgery is what they're seeing, especially with regard to his weight. And on that note, fun fact for you all, Joshua is the chunkiest of our 3 kids as a newborn, right? He's the biggest of them. He had another week to cook though, right? Speaking of which though, I thought you all might like to see some video footage of our little guy so you could see for yourselves how he's doing.
Keep those eyes open. See those eyes. There you go. There you go. Oh yeah.
So that's Joshua. We love him very much. And we love you all. Thank you for your prayers and your words of support and encouragement. Speaking of which, I wanted to note this. I wanted to mention this. Many of you know that my birthday was this past Saturday, and one of the things that my wife did was compile a whole bunch of incredibly thoughtful and kind and encouraging words from our congregation at Centerpoint Community Church, where I serve as pastor. And I got a chance to read through them, and all I can say is I'm just overwhelmed with gratitude for all of you. Many of you spoke of the impact that I've had in your life, and of course, that's encouraging. Everybody wants to hear the impact they've had in the lives of other people. But what encourages me the most is that I've read testimony after testimony of the work that God is doing in and through you and through your families. Right? God is at work at Centerpoint Community Church. That's the most encouraging thing for me to see. So I've read story after story of those of you who have said, hey, I'm sitting down with my spouse and my kids and we're reading the Bible together more frequently than we did before. I've read stories of those of you who have said, hey, in a message, you said something in such a way where I got this part of the gospel that didn't make sense, and I understand it now, and something clicked in me, and now I'm living differently because of it. Right? That's it. That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. That's what matters. And if God has used me in any of your spiritual development, I count myself honored and privileged and blessed. Undeserved, but blessed. And I want you to know that he's used you in mine through this. The last week or so it's been tiring, it's been emotional, it's been difficult for everybody, and it's such a refreshment and encouragement to see the ways in which God is at work within all of you. So again, to those of you who have contributed to this, thank you. To those of you who have encouraged us in other ways, thank you. It's the greatest honor of my life to be your pastor. Okay, I've talked enough. As far as future updates go, you'll likely see some stuff on Facebook and Instagram. If you're friends with me and my wife, you might see periodic updates from us. But don't anticipate there being a lot of things to update you on through video prior to Joshua's surgery, right? So if you don't hear anything, that's just because there's really nothing to update you on, and that is a good thing, right? So thank you again for all your support, for all your prayers, for all of your encouragement. We'll most likely catch you all here sometime next week.